Hello, Just right here. Today, once again, it's another Diablo 3 video. Today I will be talking about the Jade Harvest build. Now, I created a build and I tweaked it a little, and I'm not saying this is my build, I'm not saying it's not my build, I'm not saying anything. I do not claim this is my build, and no entitled. This is just the build I use for Jade Harvest. So let's get into it. First off, we'll go with the skills. Skills, my left trick I use Horrify with Frightening Aspect, which is, you horrify all elements, causing them to tremor in fear, and then you gain an additional 50% armor after casting this. Then my right click, I use Haunt, which haunts all enemies, dealing 4,000% weapon damage as cold over 12 seconds, with the skill ruin Poison Spirit, which takes 20% more damage from all resources, and Haunts turned into poison damage. My action bar skills I use is Spirit Walk with Severance, which increases the movement speed by an additional 100%, so you could get out of messes quicker, and it's a good mobility skill. Alright, and my secondary is Locust Swarm, which unleashes a plague of locusts that swarms at an enemy, dealing 1000% damage over 8 seconds. My skill rune I use is Cloud Incident, which inflicts and deals 25% reduced damage. Which, when you cast it, the enemies hitting you do 25% less damage. I use Soul Harvest with Languish, which is a toughness thing. It practically with the Jade Harvest, not Jade Harvest, yeah, with the Jade Harvest build, but with the, I can't think of it, with the Sacred Harvest, able to stack up to 10%, so that's a 100% increase in armor, and reduce the movement speed by 80%. The last one I use is Piranhas for crowd control. I use Piranha Nado, practically sucks them in, and keeps them immobilized for 4 seconds while doing damage. The next next part of the build is the items. Now for helm I use a Quetzal coat, which all my gear has been, I broke it down, so this is just a replacement gear I found. On accident I broke down my Jade Harvest build thinking it was my extra Helltooth build. But I broke down all of them, so this is just items I've collected for this, specifically for this video. Tell you like the general gist of my build. So for your helmet, use a Quetzal coat, which you're using it for the Locust Swarm and Haunt. Now deal their own damage in half of the normal duration, which is they cut the time in half. For my shoulders, I use a Jade Harvest. For my neck, I use my Hellfire Amulet for the Fierce Loyalty and the socket and the crit damage and so on and so forth. For my chest, I use the Jade Harvest chest. So, as far as my hands, I use the Jade Harvest. For my wrists, I use the Lacrima's Ornament for the reduce all damage taken for 6% for each stack of Soul Harvest. So I can stack up to 60% of damage taken. So I practically I negate or block 60% damage taken using these bracers. These are also the bracers I use in a Helltooth build as well as the amulet. Like I said, I got rid of most of my stuff for Jade Harvest. I use a Ring of Emptiness and a Tekuk gem in there. The belt I use is a Haunting Guild, which Haunt releases 1 extra spirit. For the other ring I use Conversion of Elements for the increase in elements for changing over, be able to do damage, and then I use Bailey Trap for the gem, which I use Efficient Toxin in here. For my pants I use the Jade Harvest. Same for the feet, I use the Jade Harvest. For my main hand I'd use the Sacred Harvester for the increase in Soul Harvest stacks. I also put a crit gem in there. For Vile Hive I use I mean, for offhand, I use a Vile Hive for Locust Swarm, the gain effect of Pestilence Rune, and deals 6% more damage. Now, telling you all that, let's move on to the actual gems I use. Efficient Toxin. The reason I use this, clear poisons all enemies by about at level 50, it's like 5,000% or 4,500% damage. And also, all enemies poison take 10% increased damage from all sources, so I'm really using this as a spread my AoE kind of stuff. As far as the Taguk gem, I use this to you gain 5%. You gain percentage increased damage for 3 seconds after spending your resources. Each stack up to 20 times, so practically you're using Taguk to stack damage. That's level 1 one. I got my level 25 one. I don't know why. I'm my level. It was level 50 something. I threw out the wrong gem on accident. The third one I use is Ban the Trapped, which increases damage effect under controlling impairing effects by 36% and reduces movement speed for enemies by 15%. So it's more of a crowd control scale point thing. Yes. Alright, as far as the Kanai cube that I use, let's go to the cube. The Kanai cube I use Whirling and Grandeur so I could put more, take off more of my set items, which is just one set item. So it reduces your set by 1. For my chest I use well above 9% primary resources. All damage taken is reduced by 50%, so like when I'm traveling and stuff and running through mobs, my damage is reduced by 9%. And for my weapon, I use a Locust Swarm, continuously plaguing enemies around you. That's good. I just want to show you this build really fast. This is a T10, just a zone, T10 zone. Let's go to Royal Crypts. I just want to show you really fast this build. Alright, so. And then this build's not fully progressed. So I just want to show you that you just keep. Once again, this build was at its peak, but I destroyed the gear, so it's not T10 viable right now. And lastly, I just want to show you the Paragon points that I use. First off, you want to max out movement speed and maximum mana. Next, intelligence and vitality. As far as this tab, you want to max out cooldown reduction, crit hit chance, attack speed, then crit hit damage. Defensive, you want to max out life, armor, then resist all, and then life regen. For utilities, you go area damage, resource cost reduction, life on hit, and then gold find. And that wraps up the build. This is the Jade Harvest build. As far as this build, I used this build when I was just to do the set dungeon requirement for my journal, my seasonal journal. It was T10 viable until I got rid of the gear and the gems. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Comment in below the video of what you think of the build, if the build is correct, or anything. Just comment below. Yeah. Until next time, friends. Until next time.